So that was not the regular opening of the war.wav video. If you've seen my videos, basically I'm a tiny channel, maybe smaller than that. I make videos about nothing, and I'm a nobody. But I'm going to take a little minute here to speak out because of the way things are going, and I think I'm just as qualified as a lot of other people out there. They're just people making statements that, almost in a glib manner. I'm getting older now, and maybe somebody can remind me. I kind of forgot. If you could remind me, or if you know, or if you remember, why did the U.S. send nuclear weapons to Japan? Why did they do that? And I've been looking it up on YouTube and Google. I'm not really finding a really good definition of why exactly they did that. So the next question is, would they do it again if in a confrontation or a war with China? Would they do that again? Let's just go over a brief history for a second here. And they dropped 2 atomic weapons on Japan. The first one was on Hiroshima. They killed 20,000 soldiers in one shot. But they killed 70,000 to 126,000 civilians in the same time. And then they dropped another one on Nagasaki, and there were between 40,000 and 80,000. I'm getting this from Wikipedia, so I don't know how much any of you trust that, but it's between 40 and 80,000 that were killed. At least 150 of those were soldiers. So in total, there's as many as, they say, 226,000 killed in Japan. They say that up to half of those were vaporized. So yeah, I was going to ask, if they were in an armed conflict with China, would they do that again? Would they use atomic weapons? It might be based on what you believe is the reason that they used them in Japan. If you believed they used them because of Pearl Harbor, or perhaps because they were taking some casualties in their boats because of the kamikaze Japanese pilots that flew airplanes into the sides of ships. Is that the reason? So I guess, if you believe that they won't use nuclear weapons in a conflict with China, put up your hand. If you believe that U.S. would not use nuclear weapons in a conflict with China. And I can't see you, obviously, but I don't need to, because I don't think anybody's going to put up their hand and say, no, I don't think they're going to use them. If you take a look back at the time that it was a conventional weapon, I think you can draw a line, although, conventional weapons obviously can be devastating as well. I think at the time that they used the nuclear weapons on Japan, many Japanese cities, according to Wikipedia, were 97% destroyed. As much as 7 months before the nuclear weapons were dropped, the leadership of Japan's military was suggesting that they stop, that they give up, because most Japanese people were already starving. They weren't able to produce food or go fishing. So a lot of people were already starving, and their cities were destroyed, and they couldn't produce the military hardware at the same rate, like maybe 60-75% of the rate that the Americans could produce military hardware. But take a look at this for a second, okay? So again, I'm asking the question, why did we use nuclear weapons on Japan, and would they do it in a conflict with China? So it's a huge country, Japan, and all those people, they were ganging up on us, I guess, right? But the U.S. had to get the approval of the U.K. to be able to drop that bomb, or those bombs, and they got it. So I think it's almost like the U.S. and U.K. dropped those bombs. But at the time, Let's see who else was allies of the United States when they felt it so necessary to drop nuclear weapons. UK, Soviet Union, and the United States were allies, but they were also allies with Poland, Czechoslovakia, Norway, Netherlands, Belgium, Luxembourg, France, Ethiopia, Greece, Yugoslavia, Philippines, China. So there's China, Russia, and the United States were allies at the time against Japan. India, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, Brazil, Mongolia, Mexico, Italy after it was liberated, joined in, Romania, Bulgaria, and Poland. And there's a bunch of other smaller ones that really aren't worth mentioning. But consider that. Consider that we're talking about an island nation, and it's not huge. And all of those countries were allies against Japan at the time. And the Americans felt it necessary to drop nuclear weapons. So I'm going to put out a challenge here. I see a lot of people out there that are making anti-China, what I call anti-China videos. And the majority, if not all of them, claim that we are not against the Chinese people. We're against the Chinese government. I'm going to put out a challenge to those people that are saying that they love the Chinese people and they only make videos against the Chinese government. You know, put out a statement for a peaceful reunification of Taiwan. I'm challenging you because, you know, there's only two ways this is going to go. There's going to be a reunification. It's either going to be the easy way or the hard way. Now, I can tell you this much. Just like in Hong Kong, if there's a peaceful reunification, the government's going to run the same over there. You're going to still have the internet. Here's a statement from General Luo Yuan, 17th of July 2021. The US, Japan, and Taiwan independence elements are forcing the Chinese people to push the timetable for reunification to a countdown. Do you think we're moving in the right direction? Do you want to, I mean, those people that are making those videos against the Chinese government, maybe they do truly love the Chinese people and China, and just, you know, want to make videos about the Chinese government, anti-Chinese government. But, you know, the majority, I'm not going to say all their viewers, and I'm not even going to say the people making the videos are anti-China, but the majority of their viewers are anti-China people, and they are racist. The majority of the people that watch those videos. By making those videos, they're actually playing into the mainstream media's narrative of China is an evil place. So the only thing that stops the government, in any case, in anything the government does, is the people. If the government is afraid of the people and the people's perception of things, that's why they do narratives. So anyway, I don't want to make this really long. I'm going to have to really trim it down, I'm guessing, in editing. But if you put up your hand earlier when I asked the question, you know, okay, go ahead. You don't need to make some kind of a statement, or, you know, take on my challenge of making a statement about the peaceful reunification of Taiwan with mainland China. If you didn't put up your hand, you should take my challenge and put out some type of a statement. If you're not an influencer, if you know how to contact an influencer, ask them to do it. You know, we need to get this out there that there needs to be peaceful reunification. We don't want to see a world, what's going to happen if there's a conflict with China. So, what is the reason that we use nuclear weapons on Japan?